For this month's Block Mania Blog Hop, I want to introduce Puppy Love. That's our block for the month. In this video, we're going to show three things. We're going to show you how to import an SVG file into your Cricut Maker if you're using that to cut these blocks. And if you're not, we have traditional instructions as well. And we're going to show you how the block goes together. And at the end, we're going to show you all 6 blocks that we've done so far. Alright, so we are ready to start cutting our pieces on our Cricut Maker, and the first thing we need to do is get the SVG file for Puppy Love. The Puppy Love SVG file is available on our website, thewhimsicalworkshop.com, or you can go to our Etsy store. I'll put a link for both down below. So once you have the SVG file, I recommend you put it on your desktop. It'll be easier to find. So we're going to go into the Cricut software and sign in. And once you've signed in, you're going to go to the New Projects button and select it. And this will bring you to the workspace where we're going to look for Uploads and Upload Image. This will let you browse your computer, and you can bring in the Puppy Love SVG file by selecting it. And there it is. It'll say, do you want to upload the image? And then you're going to click Save. This will bring it into your files, so you can go to the one you want. These are all files I'm working on. So we're going to work on Puppy Love today. So we're going to select Puppy Love, and we're going to say Insert Image. And this will bring the image into our canvas or our workspace. And so it comes in as one full attached piece. It's all linked together. But over here on the right is our layers menu where all the individual pieces are broken apart. And this is really where if you want to select something, you can do it. And I want to show you a little bit more about layers before we jump in. So say you want to just select one heart to cut it. We're going to use the heart on the bag. I'm going to show you, here it is right there. If we say block out the eye, the heart disappears, so you wouldn't cut it. So you can control what you cut and not cut based on how many eyes you turn on and off. But when you hit the eye at the top, the whole thing goes away, or you can turn them all back on individually by clicking the eyes, or you can just select the top eye at the top, and that will bring everything back to us. So that turns them off, that turns it on. So we're ready to make it. So let's go ahead and we're going to click Make It. And this again will sort it onto your boards. Now it will always use the most efficient spacing on the boards, and I don't always like to have everything munched up because I find things, especially more complicated things, they need some room to actually cut. These are pretty simple, so we're okay, but you see the red bounding box. I'm pulling the shapes away from the red bounding box because I don't want everything on top of each other. And actually you can go through and you can move all the shapes around on all your boards and then go back and do it, but continue. And then this is connecting to your maker. You can see mine at the top, and then it says set your base material. So I'm going to go ahead and do browse all materials, so you can go over here and find the one we want. We're looking for medium fabric bonded, and there it is. It says medium fabric like cotton. You can star it to make it your favorite, and you can also click on the star to remove it from your favorites list. This will put it at the front, so you don't always have to scroll through the material sheet, the material list to find it. So here you can see it's right here. So we select it. I like to, when I'm cutting fabric, I like to change the pressure to more. And then the next step is to edit our tools. We want to make sure that it recognizes that there's a rotary blade in the cutter and not a fine point. It'll always go to the fine point blade recommendation. If you go under tool options, you select rotary blade and then it's hit select. So now we're all set with the right tool. I recommend always using a rotary blade when cutting fabrics. I have not found a time when the fine point works better. And now we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and I hit the Cricut button, so it's going, and it's now looking for the tool to detect the tool. And then once it detects the tool, it will be ready to start cutting. And that is how you import an SVG file into Cricut and the basics on how to set it up. So I hope that this helps you with your projects. Again, we're going to go ahead and jump ahead to how to assemble the dog next, but I wanted to make sure we went through this for all our Cricut followers. If you are not a Cricut follower, the traditional instructions are in the pattern, and we are going to go ahead and link one of our other previous blocks where I talk about it below, so you'll be able to follow along either way. And again, the chapters are below, so you can skip around however you like in this video. So let's move on to assembling the dog. So we are ready to assemble our puppy and his little bag of treats. I am using an Appli-Fuse mat, and then in the pattern will be the 2 placement drawings. So how we do this is first you're going to peel the paper off of your shapes. If you have put notes on the back of your shapes, don't peel them off until you're ready for them. In my case, I cut them on the Cricut, so there were no notes, so I just went ahead and peeled all of the pieces off at once. First thing you do is take your placement drawing, put it on an ironing surface, and then I use the Appli-Fuse sheet over the top to peel the papers off of your thing. The trick is to take a straight pin, score the back, and that creates a crack and peel and makes it so much easier to remove your paper. So you remove the paper, and then we're going to start building. Let's start with the little hearts bucket first. And then this guy, to figure out where to put it, you could just press this up and make a crease, and if you really need to, you can press from the sides, but I know it's centered about that much up on the bag. There we go. So there's our little bag of treats. So we'll let that cool. So then we're going to do the hearts. And these guys, you can't see the little heart on top of the big heart, so I'm going to fold this in half and crease it. And I'm going to fold this one in half and crease it. And I'm going to nest the one on top of the other that looks like the picture. I'm going to fold this up. And that's how we position those hearts. So we're ready to iron those 2 together. And then we're going to peel this guy up because he's ready. There you go, the fusible is on the back, there's nothing on the mat, and this is ready to be positioned on our background. If you have any little hairs hanging off, you can always just get rid of those. So there's that. With that, we have our little hearts for the garland. This is the heart that goes in his mouth, so we're gonna just peel this off and set it aside for now. And we're gonna start building the dog. And this is what the block should look like, so I'm going to use this as my reference for building it. We're done with this, so again we start with the lowest piece and pull up so you don't accidentally pull the pieces apart. Oh, and see, I didn't get his ears down quite enough. Just iron that. So we're done with this pressing sheet. I've gone ahead and sewn the background together. This is 3.5 by 12.5. This is 9.5 by 12.5. Now we can put our puppy on here. And he's low enough so we can get our little heart girl in there. So I'm not going to iron anything down until I get everything positioned, because remember, permanent adhesive. This goes back here, and you want to make sure you're staying at least 1/4 inch away from your edges, because that's your seam allowance when you sew this in. So we know we have enough room for the garland, so we're going to go ahead and press the puppy down. He is just so cute. All right, so there's our puppy. Once this cools, first I need to draw his little toes. Now you could trace them from this using a light box before you iron it on, but seeing how I'm the artist to start with, I'm just gonna go ahead and hand draw them. And I'm using an iron out pen, so if I don't like the way it looks, I can iron it away. There's this other toe, and then for the garland at the top, I'm going to draw it. And it's just a gentle curved line. It doesn't have to match my drawing. So there's that. And then I'm going to take my hearts and attach them to the garland. Now, this is iron out pen, so I want to be careful how I put these down. So next up is to pick our threads. So we've got all kinds of choices here. So we've got a lot of pink going on. I do have a dark hot pink, which could be used on all the pinks, and it would make this light pink just pop off the background because it's pretty soft. Or I have a light pink that would just disappear. So it's gonna be your choice. But the other thing is this is a 40 weight thread and this is 50 weight thread, and you can see how thin the 50 weight is to the 40 weight. So this is going to make much more of an outline. So right now I'm leaning towards the hot pink to make those hearts all pop because they are the focus. But let's see what other colors we pick for the rest of it. So I'm going to do white with white, black with black, and I'm going to do his nose in black. This is gray. So again, do we go with a darker outline gray or a light gray that just disappears into the bag? So I'm going to go with the darker outline gray so that this piece of the bag will show up more. And this is picking threads. It's picking them out, interviewing them, seeing which colors work best. So this one is too light. I know that. I don't want that. That is too light, and we're already doing some strong outlines on the other stuff. So those two are out. Now it's a matter of how strong of an outline. Like that's a subtle one, and that's pretty brown. I'm going to go with a subtler brown so that the hearts truly become the focus of the piece, because the dog is so big he is already the focus. So the hearts need some help, so we'll just keep this a little quieter and we'll use this brown. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy stitched, and I'm going to link a video below all about finishing the edges and finishing the embroidery stitching on here. It's a great video, and then at the end I'm going to show you what the puppy looks like. We have now made it 6 months into the Block Mania Blog Hop, and this month is our puppy love. But we started with Study Buddy, Batty and Happy, We Are Family, A Present from Penny, and Wish Upon a Star. I'm looking forward to doing 6 more months of these, and then we're going to put them all together into a quilt. So I hope you continue to follow along. Let me know below if you are, and I'd love to see some blocks if you've made them. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, make sure you like and subscribe below. You can find the Whimsical Workshop on our website, thewhimsicalworkshop.com, and that has all links to all of our other social media platforms. Thanks for joining us.